Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Logan and today we're going to be looking at the Brown Witch Lenny, a cheeky black, brown, indigenous person of color Halloween witch Lenormand deck from Krista of Auntie Kay's Tarot. The Brown Witch Lenny dresses every witch in classic attire of skirt, hat, striped stockings, and cowboy boots. It includes 3 alternate cards for coffin or seance, dog or familiar, and cross or trials, and there are 5 keyword cards as well as 1 double-faced card. Now, if you notice anything amiss as far as formatting goes, like normally we would have a box, we turn it like that. This has all been rectified in edits. This is a prototype deck, so thank you, Krista, so much for giving me the opportunity to experience your deck. I really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first we have the double face card. Now, as I understand it, you can choose to shuffle this card into the deck, and then whatever card this card lands next to or cards it lands in between, you can pay special attention to those cards. So that is a totally optional feature for you, but it is a very pretty design. It is also the card back design. Aside from our cards here, like it says, we do have explanation cards as such. You will also have a full guidebook that comes with the deck. So first we have Rider. We have a witch just absolutely tearing the sky up as they are just having a great time flying over like neighborhoods or maybe a cityscape. I think this has a lot of movement, and so it works in a very kinetic way for the Rider card. Here we have Clover. I appreciate we have this larger clover art in the background, and then we have these smaller bits with the flowers and such. 1 clover in the jar. It's kind of like, it gives me like a good luck spell jar type of vibe. So I'm here for that. Here we have Ship. It's very nautical. We have a rowboat out here. Here we have House and our first bearded witch, which is a lot of fun. There's definitely a lot of whimsy, and it definitely shakes things up as far as most Lenormand decks featuring just like a singular object on a blank field for the card art, whereas here we actually have characters interacting with the world, which is something tricky to do, but I do think Krista has done a good job of it. Here we have Tree. Clouds. I appreciate the movement in the skirt on this figure. You know, I've heard Erica Robinson, is that her last name? I'm drawing a blank. I think her name's Erica Robinson from, is it Lenormand for Beginners? I am drawing so many blanks, y'all. It is, look, it's early in the morning. But she's a new Lenormand author, fabulous Lenormand author. She just had a deck kickstart as well. She has described the Clouds card as, in her practice, pertaining to your thoughts and things that can be distracting you in your head. So I think that totally you can play with this card in that way because of the way the clouds are directly behind the figure's head. That's what I was trying to say, but I am shit at remembering names this morning. Here we have Snake, which is just honestly serving. Like, we have this very full-figured individual who is just sauntering down the cobbled path, just completely feeling their oats and having a very lovely Britney Spears moment with this snake, and honestly, work. Because, you know, like, I feel like a lot of people will look at the snake card as a particularly cunning woman or something of the sort. Let's see what Krista mentions here. Snake. Queen Lenny winding down the path. Jealousy, betrayal, a winding path, medicine, healer, unofficial lover, widow. So I think we still can get some of that energy based there. Now here we come to our first decision of which one you would personally want to work with. We have Coffin, and then we also have Seance. Now, Coffin, of course, being the traditional option. I enjoy that we see the casket, but we also have a portal here that they're contemplating flying down, at least in my mind, and so I think that works. But then I also enjoy the idea of Seance because maybe maybe I'm trying to learn a bit more. Maybe I want to be more in direct communication with what I'm letting go, or the idea of something that I've had to let go. And so I could see seance being more of a, I don't know, wanting to have more of a communicative angle instead of just a, yeah, that's the thing that we're saying goodbye to. Like, what if I want more details than that? I don't know if that makes sense, but that's why I decided to use seance instead of coffin. And also seance, I think, is just a really fun and cool keyword for the card. Here we have bouquet. Love their hair. Very lovely color palette. It's all very soft. Scythe. They mean business. They mean business. Oof. Yeah, it's powerful when you have the bladed edge just pointed right at you. It feels very kinetic, and like a wrong move could possibly part you from an appendage, which, we get that vibe from Scythe as far as like it can represent a need for swiftness, decisiveness, and also handling things with care, as scythes are bladed and you don't want to accidentally cut yourself. So I think that definitely works. Here we have broom, which I really enjoy much more so when we have a broom card as opposed to like a whip card, because I feel like this really, I don't know, you still get the back and forth motion that you can get with, that people expect from the whip. But I feel like with the broom, we can also have that element of like cleaning house, figuratively or literally. And I feel like this is really going in both the figurative and literal direction, because it looks like they are sweeping out, I don't know, like you have yard debris, but you also maybe have bad vibes being removed, being tossed over the threshold. So I think it definitely works for the themes. Here we have birds. I think this is fun and cute. And the deck shuffles really well also. Here we have childs. I love that they are throwing down some D&D dice. I think that's so pure and wholesome and fun. And like, I came to D&D really, really late in life. I'm making it sound like I don't know. I'm well into my golden years. I came to D&D probably, I don't know, maybe 27, 28, which, when a lot of people out there found it whenever they were in middle school in the 70s or 80s or whatever, I'm just like, that feels late. But I can totally see how a game like that could take you back. Not necessarily that that's what Krista had in mind with this card, but that's what it gives me, and so I can easily get behind that for a child. Here we have fox. I love that we have sort of like a cog or gear shape in the background. It really gives me like gears turning, which fox being such a cunning card, as well as the card, of work and hustle and things like that. Working around a problem, being smarter rather than working harder is the vibe for me. So I really dig having the gear in the background. I think that's clever. And I'm also interested that we have perhaps this shadowy figure behind the fox. To me, what this is giving is that this is still a witch that we're looking at, and we're seeing their true shape reflected in their shadow, but they are using some shape-shifting magic to accomplish the goals that they need to get out of the way. That maybe, their human form is not most appropriate for or most beneficial for. So again, cunning. I really like that. Bear. I really love this bear. Picking the salmon out of the water, or the fish out of the water. It's very peaceful feeling. Here we have stars. I haven't taken the time to see if we have any particular constellation at play here, but I do think it's very effective. Stork. We have a bad bitch riding a stork, and I'm here for it. I'm here for stork taxi services. In my precious possum Lenormand deck, the stork is literally taxiing a possum who's hanging in like a handkerchief basket. So seeing another figure flying around by stork, I think, is really fun and way more interesting and entertaining than just the baby delivery service stork imagery that we usually get. Now, Krista did give us two choices for card 18, dog. So we have dog, but then we also have familiar, which is this really adorable little tortie cat. And I also really love this like Western style boot. I think is really cute. And the fireplace just brings it all to like coziness and home. I also think this is a clever depiction because if you have pets, at least if they love you, as far as I can tell. They are usually pretty obsessed with wanting to lay on anything that smells like you. So your shoes, your hoodies, anything like that. Like, our cats just drape themselves over our belongings constantly. So to me, it does give that like warm friendship vibe that you can often get with that deck, that card. Here we have the Tower, which looks absolutely zany in the absolutely correct way for Witch deck. I like that the Tower has a little hat. Here we have Garden, just very nice and peaceful. I love that we have enough seating for multiple people, because Garden for me is, about the outdoors, yes, but I also like the community aspect of it and the networking aspect of it. Mountain makes me absolutely just want to drive into the wilderness and take a day having a picnic by the river. It's so inviting. Crossroads. We have a very witchy individual with some poppin' nails who is like offering us a portal. It looks like it's a portal chance. We also have, I believe, I don't know the official title, but we have one of the like extendable canes for the visually impaired. So I think that's a cool touch of inclusivity. We have mice. Love the fairy tale aspect of this. This is absolutely adorable. Mice is one of those cards where I feel like it has a lot of, not the best feelings attached to it, right? Because it often denotes like worry and loss and things like that. So I love it whenever a mice card is cute or has some sort of playful, whimsical element to it. And this is easily one of the best mice cards I've ever seen, if not the best one. I just love the little pumpkin carriage. That's adorable. Here we have Heart. Of course, it is a witchy deck. We're getting a heart in a jar. It's so good. It's so good. I'm laughing because it's unexpected. I wasn't thinking like, all right, we're gonna flip to the heart, and it's a heart that has been cut out from a body in a jar. But like, I'm laughing because like, what else would I expect? It's a witchy deck. It describes itself as a witch deck. Witches love putting shit in jars, okay? Love putting shit in jars. So like, this absolutely tracks. They look like a badass. They look like they will curb stomp you with this leg brace, and then, just watch out. Just watch out. So this is, I think, a very fun take on Heart. I'm not mad that it doesn't have some sort of romantic twist to it, because while I know the Heart card for a lot of us can signify love, for me it also signifies like the heart of the matter or the core of something. So having somebody's literal life essence core, I think it works. Ring. This is a dope ass ring, I'm not gonna lie. Also like their lace glove, and these ombre purple nails are fire. Book, we have a grimoire, which I'm always a fan of. I enjoy that the pages are magically flying out. Letter, very classic. And it's a ritual. There's a ritual printed on here, which is a nice touch to keep it in theme. Now this I thought was a very interesting choice that I'm kind of here for, because it sidesteps the man-woman limitations that you get in classic Lenny decks, where it's like you have one man card and one woman card, and it's like, okay, but what if I'm doing a reading for my coworker who works with 5 other women and it's about her coworkers? Or you run into problems whenever you limit shit so severely according to sex and gender, in my opinion anyway. So I thought this was really cool, because we have Desire, which replaces the man card. Desire. Poppet sits in an armchair. This is the focus of the seeker's question: a person of interest, fear, desire, or goal. And then we have Seeker. Seeker lounges in an armchair focused on their poppet, their desire. This is the person asking the question in the reading. So I think this is a really interesting way to approach significator cards, to where we have the querent and then we have the thing that they are seeking. So it's really, I think it's inventive and cool, So we'll see. I haven't yet gotten these two together in a reading, but maybe I need to try and phrase out a question that would specifically bring up like a, seeker-seeky situation. Usually my Lenny readings for myself are pretty open-ended and general, so maybe I need to get more specific. This has been a very fun deck to read with, by the way. I find it reads very clearly, very neatly, and the whimsy of the imagery just really makes it a fun experience. So we have lilies. I love that we have some age representation in this deck. That is very fun. I think it's fitting to have it on the lilies card. If you read Lenormand, I'm sure you've seen in plenty of books, people either tend to stick lilies with maturity, patience, and old age, and / peace sometimes, or it can be more about sensuality and sex. So no surprise to see that Krista went one direction rather than the other. I think that makes more sense than straddling the line personally, but yeah, I'm not mad at it. I think it's effective. I love that they have lilies in their hat as well. Here we have sun, and for the sun, we have a sundial, which I think is an interesting take that we don't see very often, if at all. Moon, I mean, come on, it's the moon. Of course we're going to have a witch flying in front of it. I've never seen that before in a deck, but it just makes sense, again, thematically, like what's the most witchy way you can portray a moon card in a witch-themed Lenormand deck? Of course there's going to be a witchy silhouette in front of it. It just makes perfect sense. Key, we have a beautiful ornate key. I can't tell if this is a skull design in the middle of it. I'm I'm at an age where I really should be wearing my contacts every day, and I'm not. And I need to change that. So yeah, sometimes it's like, what's that tiny detail? I can't get close enough right now because otherwise my head will block the camera. We have fish. We have an individual feeding koi fish, which I think is just really lovely. I think it's a fun take on this card because this person could be feeding the koi fish, and so it's a feast for the fish in the image, and so that's where the plenty is coming from. I don't know. That's, I think, the fun thing when you get scenic Lenormand decks, when they're done well, is that you can really play around with the narrative in your head as far as what's going on. We have an anchor with a mermaid in the background, which is a nice touch, very nice color palette. And then finally, we have two options for the cross card. We have cross, which is, you know, they're the same image, but we just have different keywords or different titles. And I really like that. The witchy individual here is handcuffed and sort of staring down the cross. And at first, I'll admit, when I first got the deck and I was looking at the card, I didn't notice the handcuffs, and I was like, huh? This seems a strange choice coming from Auntie K, but okay. And then I noticed the handcuffs, and I was like, oh, I got it. That's my bad, I got it. So of course, I worked with the Trials version because religious trauma. Yeah, I'm not going to use the cross one. So Trials, but you know, I think it's been a really fun time working with this deck. If you are interested in the Brown Witch Lenny, which just, okay, look, there are how many Lenormand decks out there? And I want to say the first one, to my knowledge, that included BIPOC individuals was the, what's it called? Grandma Baby's Black Gold, I want to say his name, Black Gold Lenormand. There's that one. And then I think, again, to my knowledge, the second one that existed was Erica Robinson's Erica's Lenormand of Hope, which I can't wait to receive that one as well. So to have yet another Lenormand deck that features non-white individuals, that features melanated, beautiful, brown and black and indigenous people of color individuals, I think is so important and sacred and lovely, and it's just, it is so sorely needed in a library of decks that is just sorely lacking. So it's just so exciting to see so many imaginative, fun, interesting, thoughtful decks being brought into the Lenormand family, the Lenormand library of decks globally, that actually feature people of color. It's just fantastic. And then the theme for this one, again, is just so fun. So yeah, I'm I'm a big fan. I think this is absolutely a fun deck to have, and an important deck, you know. So if you are interested in acquiring your own copy of the Brown Witch Lenny, it will be available through a print-on-demand website. I want to say possibly towards the end of February. I think Krista recently told me that things would be finished around Valentine's Day. So I don't know if that means that they're going to be available on Valentine's Day, but just I would say look towards the end to middle of February, and keep an eye on Auntie K's YouTube channel, obviously, for any updates, as I'm sure she will have more specific dates in mind. And she might have said, I'm sorry, Auntie K, if you said like I said, it's morning brain, okay? It is. It is morning brain. But anyway, this has been the Brown Witch Lenny by Krista from our very own Auntie K's Tarot. I hope you have enjoyed looking at this very whimsical, very fun, very fresh deck. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. And until next time, goodbye.